There is just one profit on the finished product when it rolls off the line. These things are the mainspring of a mechanism that is unique. They cultivate an idea and harvest an ideal. The idea is to find more efficient, less wasteful ways to use nature to make men more free. The ideal is always to find means of spreading the results of scientific achievement more widely among mankind. So great is an idea, so mighty is an ideal, that within half a man's lifetime, a tiny workshop has grown into the world's largest industrial development that is continually improving, creating, and contributing not only its products, but its methods, so that other industries have benefited because many Ford methods have been made available to them. Here, during the last year, $34 million have been spent as a part of a permanent program for progress, founded upon faith in tomorrow. It is faith that business could be worse and will be better. Confidence that is found whenever you find enlightened industrial management. Here, for example, is a confidence that has built a power plant that produces enough electric power to meet the domestic needs of the city of Chicago. A plant which daily uses hundreds of tons of coal, as well as 31 million cubic feet of gas, and enough water to supply the cities of Detroit, Cincinnati, and Washington. 2,500 tons of iron ore are used daily, ore from company-owned mines, transported in company-owned ships. Tons of silica sand, soda ash, salt, limestone, charcoal, and cullet are consumed daily in the manufacture of safety glass, in a huge plant where there is a polishing table so long it was constructed to conform to the curvature of the earth. Thousands of tires are now being manufactured in the world's most advanced tire factory, and the volume of production will increase as rubber becomes available from Ford-owned plantations on the Amazon. Every 24 hours, these batteries of coke ovens produce 3,475 tons of coke from coal, to be used mainly in the blast furnaces, in the melting of iron ore, but many other products are recovered or produced in this process, to be used or sold, and to save at every point of manufacture, so that these savings may serve to give more quality at less cost. For example, the thick, brown, gaseous smoke that used to overhang the old beehive-type coke ovens is here carried to a byproducts plant through overhead pipes, where a number of washing, condensing, and recovering operations produce from it 45,000 gallons of coal tar used throughout the plant as fuel, 100,000 pounds of ammonium sulfate, a fertilizer which Ford markets through its dealer organization, 11,850 gallons of light oil. And by mixing 25% refined light oil with 75% standard gasoline, 42,000 gallons of motor benzol are produced every 24 hours, which finds a ready sale in the gasoline filling stations throughout the Detroit area. From the coke ovens, the coke is carried by conveyors to the blast furnaces, where the idea of efficiency to cut waste begins with the recovery of the flue dust that is caught and sintered for melting. And here, during full production, no pigs of iron are cast only to be subsequently remelted. The iron in its molten state is transported directly to the world's largest foundry, where technical advances in the casting of metal are being made regularly, and where the V8 engine block is cast in one piece. Other ladles filled with molten iron from the blast furnaces go directly to the open hearth furnaces, where steels of many kinds are produced. More than 63 different kinds of steel are used in the manufacture of the Ford car, 38 for the cars themselves, and others for dies and tools. And meanwhile, an industry within an industry is devoted to other savings that are passed on to Ford and Lincoln buyers in the shape of better cars, sharing in the profits from these efforts. For example, waste paper that accumulates at the Rouge plant is made into tons of paper used for packing and other production purposes. Every scrap of wood, of rubber, of metal, string, cloth, or leather is used, no matter how small it may be. Waste oil that inevitably pollutes a river flowing close beside any large factory is here reclaimed. 600 gallons of it a day, and used for oiling roads and for fuel. The dust from grinding wheels contains metal particles of the parts smoothed on the wheels. Even this dust is reclaimed, and it yields tons of metal. Slag from the blast furnaces is granulated and piped to a separate plant where it is utilized in making Portland cement. Nails are carefully saved as a safety measure for future use or for the scrap metal they will yield. Tons of nails are salvaged annually and so on almost endlessly, so that each car benefits from the savings effected throughout the plant. Each car is a better value for the buyer than if each had been produced by a separate company. And the final cost of a Lincoln, Mercury, Ford car or truck is the lowest possible cost. Not a cost plus carelessness and waste, and not a cost that includes several profits. The savings effected by Ford engineering and manufacturing technique amount to millions of dollars annually, which are passed on to the motorists in the form of better automobiles. Shortcuts and savings here are made with machines and materials, not with men. And it is this efficiency which makes the work go faster, not the men. An efficiency which produces higher quality at less cost and at high wages. It is here that the world's largest builder of transportation is also the world's largest user of transportation in the form of 150 miles of conveyors, which bring the work to the man so that the man does not have to go to the work. It is the conveyor that makes the work easier, the burdens lighter, and thus enables men to produce more, earn more, not as day laborers, but as specialists in their line. When men must wait for parts or materials or else lift heavy burdens from distant conveyors, unproductive seconds add to the cost of manufacturing an automobile. And so every job is engineered for them to conserve their strength, to ease their burdens, for it is by saving men that seconds are saved. And it is through the savings of seconds in one place that at another point on the line, minutes can be spent to ensure the highest possible quality in every part produced. Here, for example, in a lead-walled room, steel is examined for hidden flaws by powerful X-rays. Dozens of these plant laboratories dot the production line. In another room, engineers test Ford parts with twisting, jerking, pounding, bending, and squeezing machines. Springs are bent and flexed and deflected thousands of times. Pistons are crushed. Terrific pressure is put against gear teeth. Plated parts are given salt baths for hundreds of hours to test resistance to corrosion. Paint, oil, rubber, and textiles must pass rigid examinations. All this is done close to actual production so that research and testing go hand in hand with manufacturing at every stage. Thus, minutes are spent because seconds are saved to the end that values can be multiplied. And when you see inspectors checking parts for accuracy to dimensions measured in 10,000ths of an inch, you see where quantity production of quality products actually begins. Because parts must fit together perfectly, or more seconds and costly seconds would be wasted. It is the combination of all these that explains why thousands of people from all over America and from all over the world visit this plant each day. They know that here is a fountainhead of industrial and technological progress has raised standards of production methods all over the world. They see that the more anyone has of success, the more everyone can have. And leaving, each carries with him this thought: this is the only plant of its kind in the world, and from only one plant, this plant, could these cars come at these prices.
And so, this is the time of the harvest of the years. A harvest founded upon an idea from the mind of a man to whom it is always early morning in America.